before the nails, before the sorrow, before the sky began to cry, there was a road through silent suffering, where love was walking toward its death. Every step was filled with mercy, every breath carried our shame, and the weight of all creation rested on His holy frame. And through the dust of that long journey, a truth began to rise. Surely He has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. From the garden to the trial, from the beating to the crown, He was walking through the darkness so we wouldn't be cast down. It was the journey to the cross, where love was lifted high, where the innocent was broken so the guilty could have life. It was the journey to the cross, where mercy paid the cost, and the blood that fell like healing rain redeemed the souls once lost. Through the streets of condemnation, with the cross upon His back, every fall was filled with purpose. There was no turning back. The crowd was shouting in the distance, but His silence spoke of grace, and the thorns upon His head could not steal His saving face. And the hill of crucifixion stood beneath the darkened sky. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Through the nails and through the suffering, through the darkness and the cry, He was carrying our redemption as the Lamb prepared to die. It was the journey to the cross, where love was lifted high, where the innocent was broken so the guilty could have life. It was the journey to the cross, where mercy paid the cost, and the blood that fell like healing rain redeemed the souls once lost. Through the pain beyond all measure, through the tears He never hid, He was writing out salvation with the blood that freely bled. And the cross that stood in darkness became the light of all mankind. For the one who died in suffering left the grave and rose in time. And the stone that sealed the silence could not hold the risen King. He is not here, He has risen. Every step, every scar, every drop of blood was love. It was the journey to the cross, where death was overcome, where the grave lost all its power and salvation had begun. It was the journey to the cross, where hope was born again, and the King who wore the thorns It started on a quiet morning, but the air felt strange and still, like creation knew the sorrow that was climbing up that hill. No crown of gold upon his head, just thorns pressed deep with pain. No throne prepared to honor him, just a cross and falling rain. And every step he took in silence carried more than we could see. He carried our sorrows. From the garden filled with anguish to the crowd that cried his name, he was walking toward the ending of a love we could not claim. That was the day love was crucified, hanging between the earth and sky, when mercy chose to stay in place and grace refused to say goodbye. That was the day love was crucified, when hope was nailed to wood, and the one who knew no brokenness became what none of us could. Through the shouting and the chaos, through the hatred in their eyes, he remained a quiet savior, never answering their lies. There was power in his silence, there was purpose in his pain. Every drop that fell from heaven was rewriting every chain. That hill of sorrow, with his final breath he cried, Father, forgive them. Through the weight of condemnation, through the darkness closing in, he was taking all our failure, every scar, every sin. That was the day love was crucified, lifted high for all to see, when the cost of our redemption was paid in agony. That was the day love was crucified, when heaven seemed so far, in the light of all creation was hidden behind scars. But the story didn't end there, in the silence of the grave, because love is stronger than death, and no stone could make it stay. What looked like the final moment was the turning of it all, for the King who gave his life away would rise beyond the fall, and the darkness that surrounded him could not hold the light. He is risen.